Hi, third graders. Hope you're doing great. I wanted to come on because it's time for our class read aloud. And yesterday we started our new book, The War with Grandpa. And we read, I'll just recap a little bit yesterday. Yesterday we learned that our main character is Peter and that he has a little sister, Jenny. And it seems like they have a good relationship together, but she came to him and said, I found out a secret. And he always was saying, like, I always know everything that you know. And so she ends up telling him that Grandpa is coming to live with them. And Peter's really excited because he really does like this Grandpa Jack from Florida. But then the next thing that happens is Peter finds out from Jenny that Grandpa is going to be taking his bedroom. And so he just thinks, you know what? I can't have this. Like, Grandpa's never lived here before, and this room has been mine. So we're going to start with chapter 4, titled The Deadly Dinner. So here we go. This chapter is about what happened at dinner that night. I'm not too proud on how I acted, but I'm going to write it anyway, because it's true and real. I didn't go dashing off to my mother when Jennifer dropped the news on me about Grandpa coming. I have a feeling about bad news. I always let it come to me instead of running around like an idiot looking for it. But I can tell you, I was feeling pretty awful that whole afternoon. And I didn't have much appetite even for my dinner. My dad came home at his usual time that night, about 6 o'clock. My dad's name is Arthur, and he's an accountant. An accountant works with money, in case you didn't know. He figures out how much money people and companies have and what they should do with their money besides just spending it. In the spring, when people have to pay their income taxes, my dad is very busy, and sometimes he comes home very late, and sometimes even has to work on the weekends. Tax time is what he calls it, and it goes on for months. During tax time, he disappears downstairs into his office in the basement, and he doesn't come out until it's over. Now, after telling you all that, I have to be truthful and say I don't know what Dad does exactly, except he uses a calculator and some big books. That's all I know. Anyway, we were on dessert and milk when the subject of Grandpa came up, and it was Mom who spoke about it. Children, she said, I have some wonderful news. Wonderful, I was thinking. If this was wonderful, then maybe Thursday was Sunday. You know that Grandpa Jack has been very sad down in Florida since Grandma died. Well, I was speaking to him the other day, and guess what? He sold the house down there, and he's coming to live with us. Isn't that exciting? Mom was looking at me with such a happy expression on her face that I just had to smile, just a little. Terrific, I said, which was maybe one of the biggest lies of my life. You'll finally get to know your grandpa, Dad said. He's a great guy, Peter, and he loves you and Jenny a lot. I love him up to the sky and down to the ocean, Jenny said. He always sends me candy on my birthday. That's my silly sister for you. If Frankenstein gave her chocolate, she then would want to be his best friend. So, when's Grandpa coming? I asked. In about a week, Mom said. He's just finishing up some last-minute things, and he'll fly up here to stay. We've got to make Grandpa feel very welcome, kids, Dad said. Our home is now his home, and I expect you to treat him like a member of our family, with respect and courtesy, and maybe a little extra understanding, because he does miss Grandma so much. Well, it may be strange in the beginning, Mom said, having Grandpa here all the time, but I know you'll do things to make him happy. Can I show him my ballet routine? Jenny asked. Perhaps, Dad said, smiling. He probably would enjoy that. Will he play the piano for me while I dance? Not unless he suddenly learned how to play the piano, honey, Mom said. Will he play the piano with me? Well, possibly. How about will he play casino with me? Jenny asked. Jenny, Dad said, let's not jump all over Grandpa Jack the minute he walks in here. Let's let him get settled and get comfortable. Dad looked over at me. Peter, Why so silent? Just thinking, I said. Are you worried about Grandpa coming here? Mom asked. A little, I said. I saw a funny look pass then between Mom and Dad. Where's he gonna stay? I asked. In the guest room? Well, Dad said, kind of with a sigh. No, Peter. Where then? I said. Where exactly? Let's talk about it, Dad began. You see, Peter, Grandpa's leg is very bad, and he can't walk stairs very well. So putting him on the top floor of the house, 2 whole flights of stairs, that's really not a good idea. And the bathroom on the top floor is only a half bath, Peter, Mom said. And if we were to put Grandpa up there, he'd have to go down a flight of stairs, then to shower, only to go back up again. Well, couldn't you just put a shower on the top floor bathroom? I asked. Ooh, not really, Dad said. Well, why not? I said. There's only those old dinky rooms up there where we store things away. We could make maybe the bathroom bigger. Look, Peter, Dad said, we've been thinking awfully hard about where Grandpa can stay, and there seems to be only one answer. No, I said as fast as I could. It has to be your room, Peter, Dad said. Absolutely, positively, 100% no, spelled N-O. I didn't just say that, I yelled it. Peter, Mom said, do not shout. Don't you want Grandpa to live with us? Jenny said. How can you be so mean? Stay out of this, bird brain, I said to her. Oh, Peter, Dad sighed, shaking his head slowly. Why can't Jenny just give up her room? I asked. Why does it have to be me? Well, she's still a baby, Peter, Mom said. I am not, Jenny said. Now she looked insulted. She still gets up in the night sometimes, Mom went on, and she needs looking after more than you do. And she needs us to be close to her. You know, especially getting dressed in the morning, and you know what a slowpoke she is and how I have to keep after her or she would be late for school every day. You're a big boy now, Peter. You're almost grown up, and I depend on you, and you know that. It's not fair, I said. It's not fair that Grandma died either, said Dad. It's not fair that Grandpa is so sad and lonely. Life isn't fair, Peter. We'll try to make you as comfortable as possible on the 3rd floor, Mom said. Who knows? Maybe you'll enjoy living up there. Oh, no, I won't, I cried out. I love my room. It's mine. And even as I said that, I knew that it wouldn't do any good. So I did the only thing I could. I jumped up from my chair, ran up to my room, threw myself on the bed, and cried like a maniac. All right, chapter 5. Sad and blue as the sky. Well, that is about as long as a chapter I've ever would care to write. It took me about 5 days to write that chapter. I don't know how authors ever write big fat books. They must spend their whole life doing it. Meanwhile, I was as sad as I ever was, up in my room, and about as blue as the sky. There's a thing that happens when parents want kids to do something and the kid doesn't do it. What happens is that the parents usually win. That's one of the big advantages of being a parent. You get to always win the arguments. Take piano lessons, for example. Once a week, I go to Miss Biddle's house and spend 45 minutes plonking away at these stupid pieces while she sits there behind me, sighing and shaking her head. Do I want to take piano lessons? No. Do I have to? Yes. Do I want to practice the piano every day after school? No. Does my mom make me? You know the answer to that. Why couldn't I have baseball lessons instead? If somebody pitched me a baseball for 45 minutes every week, then maybe I could learn to hit a ball instead of striking out all the time. Which is what I do, except a few times by accident I did hit the ball. Last year I only got 2 hits all season. Anyway, what happened after that, after a while, my dad came up to my room and talked to me. I had this sinking feeling in my stomach the whole time as we talked. I knew I was going to lose the argument. They couldn't move Jenny upstairs because she was still a baby, no matter what she says. And because Grandpa had a bad knee, he couldn't live on the top floor of the house. I'm sorry, Pete. That's just the way it is, Dad said. Can I say I think it stinks, though? I asked. Sure, it stinks. Well, I agree with you, Dad said. It's disgusting, terrible, gross, and also horrible, I added. Oh, well, it sure is, Dad said. We'll start moving some of your things upstairs this weekend. I'm sure you'll make it comfortable up there. No, I'm going to hate it. Well, if you have that attitude, you will hate it, Dad said. Just give it a chance, Peter. Do I have a choice? I asked. No. Then I don't want to talk about it anymore. And so we didn't. And we'll read one more chapter, chapter 6. I promise. I'm putting down this promise in black and white so that I never forget it. When I grow up and I have a kid, I will never make them do anything they don't want to do. That is a promise, so help me God. Except if it's something really important, like if he didn't want to brush his teeth, I'd have to make him do that or he'd get cavities and stuff. Or if he didn't want to eat vegetables, say he would not be getting his vitamins that he would need to grow up. Or if he wanted to run across the street when a car was coming, I would have to say no to that too, of course. Or if he was fooling around with matches or electricity or poison or something that could hurt him. And if he did not want to go to school, why, I guess I'd have to make him go there or he would grow up being stupid. Well, maybe there are a few things that he'd have to do that maybe I didn't think of. But other than that, no. And that's a promise. And that brings us to chapter 7. And we'll read that one tomorrow. I'm curious how you're thinking about this story. It's kind of interesting how it's written. It's a different perspective. I think it's definitely fun. So I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I've been thinking about you, and I will come on again tomorrow and read another few chapters. All right, talk to you guys later.